Good morning, students. Welcome back in your SS class. Yesterday, we have started our chapter Land, Soil, Water, and Natural Vegetation and Wildlife. And everything about these things, these are natural resources. And in the previous lecture, we have studied about land as a natural resource, right? Now, in this video lecture, we will study about soil as a natural resource. Now, first of all, we will see what is a soil. The first basic question here, what is a soil? So, my dear students, the thin layer, you can say, of the grainy substance which has covered the earth's surface, it is called soil. If we think about our soil and if we think about our earth surface, it has few centimeter grainy substances, and this thin layer, it is called soil. Right, students? Now let's think about what are the different factors on which the formation of soil depend upon. So if we think about the formation of the soil, it depends on different factors. Like you can say parent rock. It means from that rock it has become. And climatic condition, temperature and time, everything. On every factor, you can say the formation of soil, it is affected. So we have the question, there is a question, what are the different factors on which the formation of soil depend? So we can the answer of it that the soil is the formation of the soil, it is dependent on different factors like parent soil, parent rock, climatic conditions, temperature and time also. And if you think about the soil, it is made up of different organic matters, minerals and different weathered rocks. So all these things make the soil fertile and you can say less fertile. If you think about fertility of soil, if any soil has right mixture of minerals and organic matter, you can say if any soil has a proper amount of humus, you can say that soil is considered the fertile soil, you can say. Right, students? If there is a, you can say, not right mixture of the minerals and organic matters, the soil is less fertile. If you think about the plain India, means northern plain of India, it is a fertile soil because it has the proper mixture of minerals and different organic matters. But if we think about, you can say, if we divide alluvial soil into two parts, there is a first one is Khadar and the second one is Bangar. Khadar is more fertile because it has the right mixture of the minerals. But if we think about the Bangar, it has not proper mixture of minerals and you can say organic matters. That's why that soil is less fertile than Bangar. Sorry, Khadar. Right, friends? Now there is a one important, you can say, important term, that is weathering. If we think about weathering, it means that the breaking up and the decay of the exposed rocks by temperature change, by frost action, by plants, animals and human activities. This is called weathering. This is the definition of weathering. Because we have studied that the soil is made up of weathered rock. We have studied this point. It means, first of all, we've come to know about it. What is weathering? So if we think about the process of weathering, it means that the breaking up and the decay of exposed rocks by the temperature, by the frost action, and you can say it is the action of and activities of the human, plants and animals also. So this total process, by these total process, the breaking up of the rocks, this is called weathering, and it is helpful for making the soil and for the formation of the soil. Okay, students, I think it is clear to all of you. Now come to the next point, that is soil profile. You have studied soil profile in the earlier, you can say, classes also. If we think about the layer of the soil, it has different layer of the soil. Like if we think about the uppermost layer, that is the O horizon, which support the plants, and the second one is A horizon, which has the right mixture of minerals and humus content, and which support, you can say, which is helpful for the development of the agriculture and other plants things. And if we think about the E horizon, B, C, and R horizon, so these are the different layers, you can say, that which have different type of contents also. The R horizon, it is the bottom of the things, you can see. It is the at the bottom of the layer structure. Right, students? We have studied all these things in the, you can say, earlier classes. Right? So there is no need to discuss all these layers in a very, you can say, deep manner. Now, this is the most important point for you, students. If we see the soil, it is a few centimeter layer. You can say a thin layer. But my dear students, just only this few centimeter layers takes hundreds of the year to form. And if we think about the use of the soil, we are using it in a very indiscriminate manner. Means we are using in a very uncareful manner. We are not using it in a carefully. So we are wasting our soil also. So my dear students, listen carefully. If we see that just only few centimeters soil, it takes hundreds of the year to for the formation of few centimeters soil. So we must use it in a very careful manner. Okay. Now let's think about the factors of the soil formation. We have already discussed. So this diagram also tell about it. First of all, we will see the parent rock. First of all, we see the parent rock. This is the parent rock, which tells us and which define that which type of soil it is made up of. If we think about, you can say the Deccan Plateau of India, it has black soil. Why it has black soil? Because this soil has been formed from the igneous rock. And the igneous rock, it is formed from the, you can say, lava. So this soil, the color of the soil, it is, you can say, black soil, right? So the which type of soil it is found in particular area, it depends upon the parent material. Now next one is climatic factors. Let's think about it. My dear students, if we think about the in Karnataka region, and you can say Andhra Pradesh region, there is a soil of red and yellow soil. And this type of soil, it is found only in that area where there is a heavy rainfall area. Sorry, less rainfall area. And if we think about the at the western edge of the Deccan Plateau, it means Western Ghat, there is a, you can say, there is a laterite soil. And this soil is found only where is a high temperature and heavy rainfall. So the climate is also determined which type of climatic condition, sorry, which type of soil is there. Next one we come to know about the organism. It means that the soil is fertile or not. It decides this thing, organism. And next thing is relief. Relief, it means different landforms. Okay, if we go to the Jammu and Kashmir, in Himachal Pradesh, there is a mountain soil. And you can say, and that soil is not fit for cultivation. If you go, you can say in the Rajasthan area, there is a desert that is less fertile, and you can say it does not support any agriculture. Now next one is time. Time is also important for it, because it also, with the passage of time, it also help us, you can say the soil is formed, and you can say the proper mixture of the organic matters and other things. The soil is fertile or not fertile, it depends all these things. So these are the important factors on which the soil formation process depend upon, right? Now, let's think of other thing, like parent rock. If we think about parent rock, it determines the color, the texture, the chemical properties, type of minerals, a mineral content, and you can say a permeability. It means fertile or not fertile, I think so. So this is parent rock determine all these things. And if we think about the climatic condition, it is temperature and the rainfall influence and rate of weathering and humus. So these things determine in the climate. And if we think about the topography, this is considered relief feature also. Altitude and slope, it determines the accumulation of the soil. And if we think about the time, it determines the thickness of soil profile. We have studied in the soil profile. We have O layer and R layer, ABC, वगैरह. So if we think about it, the thickness of the soil profile totally depend on the time. And the microorganism, it affects the rate of the humus content, humus formation. And this humus content determines the fertility of the soil. That soil which has proper humus content, it means that soil is fertile land. And which has the lack of humus content, that is less fertile soil. Right, friends? So these are the different factors, you can say, which help us in the soil formation. I think it's clear to all of you. Now, students, we think about that soil is a natural resource. That's why we are using it in a very indiscriminate manner. So we are facing a lot of problems related to soil. The quality of soil is degraded and you can say decline, due to which there are some regions which have become barren also. It has become barren. It means unfit for the cultivation soil. It has become. So we will see that degradation of soil here. And it's very most important thing that soil is degraded day by day and with the passage of time. And the major threat, and you can say the major challenge for it, that is soil erosion. And soil erosion, if you think about it, the upper layer of the soil, it is removed by the different agent of by the different agents, whether it is a physical factor, whether it is the human factors. This is called soil erosion. There are different type of soil erosion also, like water erosion, air erosion. These are the example of the soil erosion also. And it degrades the quality of the soil. So the soil becomes less fertile and it is very harmful for the population also. If we think about the factors which lead to degrade the soil, these are natural factors and these are the human factors. Like we have studied about it, natural factors like wind and air. And if we think about the human factors, we have started like mining activities. We are overgrazing the things. Overgrazing and mining. These two things degrade the fertility of soil. And these are the human factors. Okay? Right, students? The next one is overgrazing. Sorry, deforestation. Let's think about the deforestation. It is cutting off the trees. This process is called deforestation. And if you think about the forest, you can say trees and plants, they hold the soil and they reduce the soil erosion. So deforestation, it is also the basic reason of the soil decline. Next one is overgrazing. There are some parts like Gujarat and Rajasthan. These areas are less fertile and you can say the soil here, it is degraded. The basic reason is overgrazing. This is the basic reason. Next point, that is overuse of the chemical fertilizers and pesticides. After 1960s, there was a, you can say, green revolution, and we are going to use different modern inputs for getting more and more output for the, you can say, fulfill the demand of the population. So we are using chemical fertilizers and pesticides, and these create the this increases the alkaline nature of the soil. It means soil becomes less fertile. So if we are overusing it, it means we are making the soil infertile. Right, students? The next one is the rain wash and flood area. And these areas to wash away the chemical substances. These areas, they wash away the chemical substances of the soil. That is called, you can say, rain wash area and flood area. Now, think about the water erosion. Sometimes it was happen that there is a heavy rainfall and due to flood, it you can say remove the upper layer and you can say it wash away the main nutrients of the soil. This process is known leaching process. When there is a heavy rainfall and it wash away the main nutrients of the soil, which increases the fertility, it wash away these nutrients from the soil. This process is called leaching. And this is also the basic region of the infertile area. And this leaching process, if you think about this leaching process, it creates the laterite soil. Okay, students. Next one is landslide, the removal of the layer of the soil. It is also a landslide, and it is the basic region. It is also a basic region of the decline quality of the soil, and the soil is degraded by these all these things also. So these are the major factors. These are the major factors which degrade, and you can say which lead to degradation of the soil, which decline the quality of the soil. These are the major factors, and we must take care of all these things. And we must conserve soil because our agriculture is totally dependent on the fertility of the soil. So soil as a natural resource, it is very most important for us and we must conserve it. Right, students? I think these points are clear to all of you. Now, students, let's think about the conservation of the soil, because we are using the soil in a very indiscriminate manner and our agriculture is totally dependent on the soil fertility. So we must conserve it. So we must take some steps for conserve our soil. The first step is mulching. Now, student, the first step is mulching. What does it mean? It means the bare ground between the plants. The bare ground between the plants, it must be covered with a layer of the different organic matters like straw, because this help in the retain of the moisture. You can see the picture. Now you can see the picture. It's a picture of a field. You can see that there is a different layers between the plants. That is the bare layer of the ground. We must put there some straw so that the moisture can retain there. And this process, it is called mulching. Right, students? I think it's clear. Now come to the next point. The next one is contour barrier. What does it mean? Stones, grass, soil, they are used to build barrier along the contour. And there we made some trenches, and in those trenches we collect water so that the moisture can be retained and the soil, you can say the soil erosion can be reduced. See it. This picture tells us that we have some contour, some trenches, we put some water in it so that soil erosion can be stopped. Second thing, the moisture of the soil can be retained. This is called contour barrier. Okay, and it's a very best method for the conservation of the soil. Now, next thing, rock dams. It's very most important. Rocks, they are piled up to slow down the flow of water. Listen, students, this can be helpful for the water erosion, to reduce the water erosion. So rocks are piled up to slow down the flow of water. If the flow of water is there, so it means the rocks, it means the soil erosion can be reduced. This help us, you can say this prevent in the gully erosion and further the soil loss. What does it mean, gully erosion? Sometimes the water create deep cracks in the earth surface. Sometimes the water create deep cracks in the in the soil, and you can say in the earth ground. This is called the gully erosion. Right, students? Now you can see that there is a you can say rock dam. Now the water flow there, it reduces the flow of water, and so the erosion may be very less. Now terrace farming, it is very most important thing. If you think about the steep slope area like Himalayan area, in the hilly areas we create broad flat steps. You can see terrace, so that we can grow their crops. It reduces the water flow and it helps us to reduce the soil erosion. You can see it. This type of farming is practiced only in the hilly areas. The different slope area, we cut it in the you can say flat steps area and different terrace, you can say, and so that the flow of run water, you can say the runoff, and you can say the flow of water, it can be reduced, and it helps us to reduce the soil erosion. And mostly this type of farming, it is done in the, you can say, hilly region. Now contour plowing parallel to the contours of a hilly slope area to form a natural barrier and which help to reduce the water flow. It is called, you can say, contour plowing. You can see these two pictures. Listen, we have in the hilly areas, we have two side crops, and there is in between of it, there is a contour where we put water to retain the moisture of that particular area. And second thing, it helps us to reduce the, you can see, flow of water. So this is very helpful for the soil conservation also. Right. Next one is intercropping. Intercropping, it means different crops are grown in alternate rows. Different crops are grown in alternate rows. They are called intercropping, and these are sown at different time to protect the soil fertility and the rainwater. Right, students? Let's see it. In this picture, it denotes that we have different crops. And this is the this is, you can say, intercropping method, and it is very helpful for the, you can say, conservation of the soil. This is intercropping, and you can say we can protect our soil by this method, and it can be protected from the rain wash, and it is done in the heavy rainfall area, you can see. Now shelter belts. This type of cropping, you can say, it is done in the coastal area, and you can say in the dry regions where rows of the trees, they are planted around the area where we have grow the crops, to check the wind movement, to stop the wind movement so that the soil cover can be protected. And this is mostly done in the dry regions and in the coastal regions. See this picture. We have plants a line of the crops, sorry, trees, so that the flow of the wind can be stopped, can be reduced, and due to this, we can protect our soil. So students, I think everything is clear to all of you. So next lecture we will see in the next video. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Have a nice day.